Hello there, and welcome back to another episode of Smart Contact Crypto, where smart people come to contact crypto. If you like making money in crypto, then welcome to the club. If you think there's more to crypto than just money, then please hit that like button, hit that little bell, hit subscribe all so we can get this channel off the ground because we are in this together. And so let's dive in. This is my 5 things video, and as you know, we always start off with a market watch with the 3 big ones. We got Bitcoin at $40,800. We have Ethereum at $2,800. And then we have Luna at $94. God, this Luna won't quit. I don't think it's going to quit anytime soon. That's why it's always number 3 on our list. It did move into the 7th spot. But let's move, in coin ratings right now. Total market cap, Luna's now number 7, beating out Cardano. I love both projects. Okay, now let's continue on to the 5 things. So we're going to start off with ApeCoin. ApeCoin. So ApeCoin came out earlier this week, and it took everybody by storm. I mean, everyone was like, what is ApeCoin? I have a bunch of friends in crypto, but nobody that's like inside. And so a lot of us were just like, what is ApeCoin just like a Dogecoin, or is it just like, it's another animal coin? I know there's a project called Ape NFT. That's a Tron project. You've seen my other videos, how I feel about Tron, kind of iffy on it. But so I thought it might be related to that. Is that another Tron, shill thing? But it turns out that it's actually a very legitimate project. Mutant Apes, the NFT project, Bored Ape Yacht Club, these are all in Solana. These are extremely popular and successful NFT projects, and the ApeCoin is going to be a DAO, decentralized autonomous organization. And people that are in it are going to be, Eminem is a very famous one, and a lot of other celebrities and influential people do have these mutant apes, and they were airdropped thousands of coins. You get some odd thousand, like I think it was 3,000, something like that. If you had a mutant ape, it was 10,000, I believe. If you had a Bored Ape, because I mean these are worth tens of thousands of dollars, and the NFTs, as well as these airdrops. So it was definitely a very lucrative airdrop for people who already had money, but as far as crypto goes, it's pretty grassroots. And so I did ape in, one could say, and I only put $100 in the morning that it was released. I started getting these messages from, first it was from Bitrue. It was like, Bitrue is now number 6 crypto exchange, and we offer ApeCoin. It just went up 600%. And then I got one from Voyager, and I was like, Voyager's going ape. And then Coinbase, I was like, something's going on. And so, yeah, that's before I knew anything about it, I threw in $100. Again, we're not super rich here on this channel yet. That will be $1,000 soon. That will be $10,000 eventually. But I threw in $100, and by the end of the day, it had it got to $14. So I took my $80 profit and I got out. I'm thinking to buy it back in a bit, but at $8. So whenever it gets, so I bought in at 8, I sold at 14. I'm gonna try to rinse and repeat. I think it's down to like $9 now. I am gonna buy it again at 8 and try to sell again at 14. I'm gonna do $300 this time. So there's that plan for Ape. I do think it's a cool project. I don't think it's going anywhere. I think it is definitely better than Doge and Shiba. And I have nothing against Doge and Shiba. I think they are both interesting projects in themselves. That's for another video for another day. And so I want to talk a little bit now for point number 2 about because we can't forget or stop talking about it while it's going on, while there's still a potential for World War III. The Ukraine, Russia, NATO, non-NATO alliances, and what's going on right now. So, as long as World War III is like legitimately on the table, we can't have a 5 things video without touching on it. What I'm going to focus on in this point is the fact that a lot of people are moving away from projects in China, who is also considered an adversary, kind of like Russia. And, definitely key differences. I'm not saying they're the same, but they're adversarial powerhouses in their own rights. And so we need to keep that in mind before we all, as let's just say the West, the United States especially, before we join in on these projects, maybe think like, hey, maybe we shouldn't do one that's so centralized with Beijing. That would be ridiculous, right? Or maybe we shouldn't do one that's centralized in the Moscow government. It has nothing to do with just being Russian. No, we don't want to invest in like literally government Russian projects. We literally don't want to invest in Chinese government projects because they're going to have total control and they probably don't have the American people's interest at heart, and so on and so forth. So many reasons why you don't want nefarious actors. You don't want to be investing emotionally, financially in projects that are going to turn out to be really, really bad. And so let's so that's why I'm just going to mention real quick Starknet. God no. I am seeing Starknet, like people, all going daily. I've seen some like legitimate influencers and people who understand crypto, more or less, saying like, hey, Starknet's going to change things. And that also goes to Immutable X. While there is still a genocide / apartheid, if you want to put it in happy terms, dovish terms, then there's an apartheid situation in Israel. If you want to put it in a more literal terms, there's a genocide going on in Israel. They're killing the natives of the land, and the whole world knows it. Europe, our allies, NATO, other than the United States, has tried to prosecute them. And so investing in these Israeli projects that literally are developed by spying on and abusing Palestinians, that's what you're doing. If you accept anything that major from Israel, like Darknet is the worst of all. Immutable X also up there. They are seizing crypto from Palestinians. It doesn't matter why. They're going to say it's because of terrorism, but that's what they say. That's what any horrible government says. Like, I mean, the exact same things we're hearing about Russia doing to Ukrainians are like word for word what the Israelis are doing to Palestinians. It's not right. It's just they're making stuff up. And even so far as the Holocaust, they said Russia said that the Ukrainians were actually the ones who caused the Holocaust. They're the Nazis, and the Israeli people said the Palestinians were the one that caused the Holocaust, not the Nazis, and that's why we can kill all their children, etc., etc. And so just keep that in mind. If it is an Israeli project, unless they are outgoing and open saying, hey, we're not going to stand for the genocide happening in our country, we're part of the crypto community that wants to create a better future, then I'm all about it. I will be the first person doing videos and supporting that project. It is not anything about the nation of Israel. It's about what they're doing. And so anything inside of there, be it eToro, I mean, come on. Immutable X is the eToro of Z rollups, and so that's just all I wanted to say about that. The Ukraine-Russia situation, we need to be careful about who we are investing in. Are they allies? Are they not allies? And it gets really complicated. And so, as you know, I'm your rock and roll guy, I'm your politics guy, and I'm your journalism guy. And so I have, I know about this. And so now let's, the next one I want to talk about is phishing attacks, because this is a real thing. A lot of people think like, oh, I have crypto and now it's gone. I was hacked. And, more or less you're right. Now let's get a little bit more into it. So a phishing attack, there's multiple possible phishing attacks, but I'm going to talk about one. And the reason is because it's blowing up. I'm hearing about it and it affected me. That's right. Your boy, Jonathan, was affected by a crypto attack, a phishing attack. And so I, as you may or may not know, I'm a big fan of Theta Arena. And I'm not talking about as an investor. I play the damn game and I'm good at it. And I'm also an investor. You know, I participated in their event where they bought off some. You know, you gave so many Thetan coins, and then you would get Thetan gems over a vesting period. And I'll definitely go more into the whole Thetan thing in another video. Definitely one high up on my list, but you can buy their coins outside of the game. You know, you can earn them in the game, but you can also buy them off the Binance Smart Chain using Pancake Swap, the coins and the gems. And so there was some event, you know, the Lunar New Year, and there was this post going around on Discord. Side note, don't ever click on any link in Discord. Just don't do it. And so, you know, if it's good enough to see on Discord, then find it somewhere else. And so anyways, I followed a link on Discord that said free Lunar New Year for anybody who had participated in that particular event that I'd posted in. I go to the link. It is exactly, I mean exactly, like the actual marketplace on Thetan Arena's legitimate website. But whenever you click on it, the link doesn't work, you know. So I click like, okay, I'm gonna click my MetaMask wallet. This is what happened. So you know, what's your wallet to get this free box? I click MetaMask. Has you put in your information, your not like your keys, just like your basic password. You give them that, and then all of a sudden, the $500 that I just spent buying Thetan coins were gone. And, you know, I wasn't 100. I thought maybe just clicking on it that one time is how they all got stolen. So I then bought another $100 of BNB, and then I moved that over to Pancake Swap, and I bought Thetan coins, and it happened again. And then I also pulled some coins out of the game, which I didn't have to buy, and there's nothing else you can do. And they were there. They were there and ready to be spent. But then I went away for an hour, and they were gone again. And so none of my other coins have been affected, like the Thetan gems, or, you know, I have a Polygon wallet in there for the game Tower, or it's not Tower, but it's a tower game called Crazy Defense Heroes. And I've got a couple other random coins and projects on my MetaMask. None of those seem to be affected, but just in case, I did create a new MetaMask. And so be careful with these phishing attacks. Here's how I could have prevented it: by paying close attention to the website. So there were 2 letters that were different. And I think it ended with like a .po or something like that. It was not the same, and the links didn't work. You could click on anything on that page. It would not take you to anywhere on the actual Thetan Arena page. And so just be super careful. You know, in this crypto world, you got to take responsibility. Like, I didn't go on to their Discord and was like, oh my God, this is a scam company, blah, 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 blah. No, I was just like, I need to know what happened. And just real quick too, there was somebody on Discord that reached out to me, and they were like, hey man, I'm so sorry to hear this happen to you. Here, I can get you your coins back. Click on this link. We'll do this together. I mean, it was like one of the nicest people I've ever seen. I was like, wow, this is a good person. Not at all. Not at all. So I started getting a little weird because I click on the link, didn't click on anything in the link, but I did to click on the link, and it was another iffy page that had the very similar, like, which wallet is yours? And so I clicked on a wallet that I don't have, and it did the exact same thing. And so I messaged that person, and I was just like, you know, you're trying to scam me. You should be ashamed. And well, before I said that, I was like, how do I know you're not a scammer? And they just put, just click it. And I was like, oh my God. And so then I posted it in the main Discord. I was just like, hey, just so you know, never ever trust anyone in Discord that says they're going to help you. If you need help, reach out to the official page. Like Thetan Arena does have a contact us. I did contact them. They were helpful in this whole process. And so never accept help from a random person on Discord. You're going to lose more than you're going to win. And so just keep all that in mind. And so that is it for the phishing attempt section. This one's going to be pretty short. I'm going to kind of just go over something Jerome Powell said recently. I thought it was really cool, really interesting. You can come up with your own implications, but basically in a recent meeting with Jerome Powell, where he was questioned by the House and then by the Senate about, cryptocurrency was definitely a heavy part of it. And I want to read this quick quote to you. When they asked him about crypto regulations. It's probably no different with railroads or telephones or the internet. And ultimately, what's needed is a framework, and in particular, ways to prevent these unbacked cryptocurrencies from servicing as a vehicle for terrorist finance and just general criminal behavior, tax avoidance, and the like. And so I think that's really great. The fact that he would compare it to railroads and telephones. You don't even hear people in crypto doing that. I mean, yeah, we're all saying it's the new internet, which he also said. So good news. Every once in a while you can be like, hey, great job, Jerome Powell. So yeah, there we go. I wanted to add that as another thing. And so now here's what I want to talk about next. And this is going to be Elizabeth Warren. Okay, so Elizabeth Warren is a senator from Massachusetts, and she has been there for a while. She started off as a Republican in the 80s, and then she was very upset with the Reagan administration, and so she switched over to be a Democrat. And she had no platform, and so she went to an independent who was known for bucking the system, Bernie Sanders. And so Bernie Sanders was in Vermont at the time. He was a very popular politician in Vermont. And so he was like, hey, this Republican is wanting to become a Democrat. She seems to have conviction, former school teacher. Then she was a lawyer. Then she became a politician. And her views really hadn't changed. She was just trying to change parties because her whole thing was like working for schools. She wanted the schools to have more. She wanted to reduce student loans. And the Republicans were like literally 100% against that. And so she kind of joined the whole Bill Clinton wave. And that's when things got bad. No, I'm just kidding. So Elizabeth Warren, she's a very interesting figure in that right. She's one of the few that's switched parties, and she's also one of the few progressives. She's been fighting for like reducing student loans for a long time. She's been fighting for teachers for a long time. She's done a lot of good. Because don't forget, my wheelhouse, as cryptocurrency for the past year, but for more than that, politics, rock and roll. And so I met Elizabeth Warren. I'm going to try to get a picture up on this video if I can ever get everything edited. But I've hung out with Elizabeth Warren. I've talked to Elizabeth Warren. And Elizabeth Warren really showed her true colors in the year 2020, whenever she was running for president against the other Democratic nominees, Joe Biden, Pete Buttigieg, Amy Klobuchar, Kamala Harris, so many others, and of course our beloved Bernie Sanders. And so, just a quick breakdown of that, just really quick breakdown. So basically what happened in the Democratic primaries is Bernie won the first 3 states in a crowd of like 20 people. And then they were thinking, oh, so Bernie's only winning because there's so many people. So it dropped down to 8. Bernie was still winning everything, every demographic, young, old, white, black, Hispanic. Just winning insanely. So then Biden was in 8th place. And so naturally, every candidate ahead of him dropped out. Amy Klobuchar, number 4, dropped out. Pete Buttigieg, number 2, dropped out. You would think everyone would drop out with Pete Buttigieg if they were trying to do who's most popular, but no. And so the only ones that stayed after Bernie won the first 3 states, every other politician dropped out except for Elizabeth Warren, Tulsi Gabbard. Both of those took progressive votes, and then Bernie Sanders, as well as just Joe Biden. And so that's why, and so then Elizabeth Warren said that Bernie Sanders said in a secret meeting with only her that a woman can't be president of the United States. It's couldn't be more of a lie. They talked about it on NPR. They talked about it everywhere. I watched it constantly even on CNN. This one like unknown host was like ranting on about it after the debate. She was like, "Can you believe Bernie Sanders said a woman?" And Anderson Cooper, under his breath, was just like, "Just so you know, this is complete hearsay. There is absolutely no evidence that this ever happened. But go on, So It was obviously a hit job. And she acts like she's a progressive. She is not a progressive. I lost all respect for her at that time. Bernie Sanders, here's what he says about cryptocurrency. That young people need to be deciding what's going on in the future of our political system and with our infrastructure and so on. And so we need to get big money out of politics so we can get democracy working in our republic. That's the Bernie stance. The Elizabeth Warren stance is, we need to regulate because I know what's going on. And listen to Hillary. People used to think I was Bernie. I'm like Hillary. And so I'm done with Elizabeth Warren. And you watch that thing, my name's Jonathan. There was a Jonathan that she did a meeting with in front of Congress, and he was just trying to, the most innocently way possible, discuss how blockchain works. I mean, he was giving her like softballs. Like, here's the ways that people could potentially use it for nefarious purposes. Here's how we could stop it. That's what he was trying to say. And she was just like, oh, so everything you're saying is just saying crypto's the worst thing in the world? He's like, no, that's not what I'm saying at all. So you agree, crypto's the worst thing in the world. I mean, it's just sickening. Absolutely sickening, and I hope a real progressive runs in Massachusetts and beats her so we can have what Elizabeth Warren is pretending to be and get an actual crypto ally in there on the left, because they are out there. And so that is going to be, my main wellhouse, talking about crypto and how it can relate to music and politics and the general world and how it can bring us together. Elizabeth Warren is not bringing us together anymore. There was a time when she was like to the left. Now she is the new Hillary. And it's sad. It's depressing. But it is what it is. And, I knew about it before now. So I'm not surprised by this, that she's doing things that progressives don't agree with. And I hope that the progressive community can sadly let her go, because she's done some good. She has done some good. She's bucked the system. She's been a maverick in the past. She has been against Democrats and against Republicans and been right. And so I'll give her credit for that. But in the past few years, she's given up on that. She's done with that. She is bad. She's not an honest actor in our politics. And she should have dropped out and backed Bernie. Then I would have been like, oh, so you have ethics. Not at all. She took votes from Bernie. She did horribly. She did it for the DNC, party over people. So we've got to get Elizabeth Warren out, but that does not mean we need to get a bunch of Republicans in, because we need to bring everyone together. And I think crypto can do that. And so if you also think crypto can do that, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, the bell. Like all. And now, as always, I'm going to wrap it up. So the coins that I bought this week: Ape, Phantom, Polygon, Elrond, and Moonbeam. I'm going to do a video on Moonbeam very soon because I think it's going to have a special moment. And coins I sold, a Jasmine, because I had a few $100s in it. It did its 4 or 5x, so I just took some profits. I do think, you can watch my last video. I didn't take all profits, and I plan to buy back in here pretty soon at 2 cents if it gets that low. And then, so those are things I do want to, keep you in the loop and keep you in the loop here. You know what I'm doing. And then, my general expectations for the market, it looks like we're back in an uptrend. And when it's an uptrend, that means you buy the dip. When it's a downtrend, that means you sell the rip. And right now, it looks like we're starting a little uptrend, and it goes based on my theory, the Jonathan theory, based on my experience. This is not something I've heard or anything else. This is just based on how long I've been in the market, and what I've seen very clearly is 3 months up, 3 months down, 3 months up, 3 months down. So unless it's changed since I started, last February, not this past one, but the one before that, we should have 3 months generally of up before 3 months of down and then 3 months up again. I do know crypto winter's coming at some point, so I know that it's not 3 months, 3 months, 3 months. But my hypothesis is that it's going to be going up these next 3 months. And, my further theory, and then it's going to be down another 3 months, and then up another 3 months, and then we enter a true recession next year. That's my general, long-term guess, but short-term, I think we're going to go up the next 3 months, and so buy the dips. And That's what it's looking like right now. We're not hitting lower lows. So thank you so much for viewing. Thank you so much to my editor for always being there with me the whole way. And I love you all. I appreciate you being here. We're going to crypto on together. Have a beautiful rest of your weekend and week and year.